Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing tonight? Episode number 366, Drink It Till You podcast, the only podcast that lasts until the last drop. How the hell is your Sunday going? How the hell was your week? Hope everybody's okay. I hope you're safe out there as I hiccup in the first 30 seconds of the episode. Yeah, I've been getting the episode number wrong. I think 2 episodes ago I said it was 264. Last episode, it was supposed to say 100 a year. I named it 100 a month. I'm just all over the place, people. That's the negative when you don't have anyone to proofread your shit before you put it out, you know? But you guys don't care, do you? Let's go ahead and have our first drink. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. Sorry, I kind of hit the microphone there. Hopefully that wasn't loud. So we got a little bit to talk about here, man. Some crazy, crazy things going on. I'm not talking about the drones or the UFOs. It's kind of funny to me how it's like now all of a sudden 2025, there's like drones everywhere. They could be UFOs, and people really, I mean, we care, but we're also like, yeah, we know. We've been saying this for a long, long time. It makes you kind of look at people who are perceived to be like crazy or off their rocker or whatever, you know, that have conspiracy theorists, I guess I'm trying to point to. It kind of makes you second guess those people and what they say, the words that they're saying, because one of the things we're going to talk about tonight is the JFK files. Obviously, we're going to talk hockey, we're going to talk football, but yeah, dude, it's wild, man. Supposedly, in case you haven't seen, dude, I saw the film more clear than I've ever seen it before. No frames missing, supposedly. And supposedly it's the driver who did it. I think his last name is Wallace. I can't remember his first name. But he had some beef with JFK. Israel is tied in there somehow. Basically, I guess with the whole Israel thing back in the day, if you're contributing to, you know, America financially, which contributing financially influences a lot of people, you know, can influence politics, can go a long way. Basically, if you're contributing to the country, like, we need to be aware, you know, we need to put you on this certain list to show, okay, this is how much this country donated, this was the cause they donated to, you know, just so we can have the details, like a receipt of sorts. That was apparently a lot of the problem with JFK. He wanted whoever's donating from Israel to sign up. I guess it would be the government, right? They wanted them to sign up. They weren't having it. They didn't like it. The CIA, I mean, he had a lot of things with the CIA. I don't know if this, and this is the hard thing too, like when you're processing all this stuff, it's like, how much is fake and how much is, you know, people just made it up. Like, you can put a quote on the internet and people will run with it, you know, just as I'm about to do now. I did see a quote. It did say JFK under it. That's the only credibility I'll give it, but it's possible. I mean, I know JFK was like super hard on the CIA. He didn't want it to exist, but there was a quote that said he'll splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces, basically saying he wants them to disband. I guess he didn't like what they did. So there's obviously a lot of things involved. Money. You just follow the money a lot of the time. What do I mean a lot of the time? I mean all the time. If you just follow the money all the time, it'll lead you back to the people doing the crazy shit, you know? So money's involved, politics are involved, obviously him being the president of the U.S., and I saw the clearest film I'd ever seen of the assassination, and I mean, it looks like the driver turns around and with the gun in his left hand, I mean, shoots JFK in the head, which is, I've always felt just so sad for him. Like, he was so beloved by the people. Obviously his wife, what a traumatic experience to even have to go through. Some people were even saying, you know, a couple of weeks ago before these files came out that that she was the one that did it. She's sitting next to him. Maybe she had some, you know, someone influencing her, but I just don't see that happening. I just feel like she really just truly loved that man, you know. I could be wrong. I wasn't there. I wasn't even alive at the time. But it's wild, dude. It's just crazy. The releasing of the files, it's like, we needed this, as the people, in my opinion, to come to some sort of healing / understanding of how fucked the government is and how much they don't care about us. Now, I'm not saying everybody in the government. I do believe there are good people that are trying to do what's right for America and the American people. But yeah, I mean, just with great power comes great responsibility, obviously. And yeah, some people take it too far. Some people get power hungry, go on a power trip. It's too much. But yeah, it's like it sucks because a lot of the reason they were saying they didn't release the files was, well, some of the people involved were still alive, and we didn't want to release the files. And it's like, no, we need to release the files. Those are the people we're after. Those are the people we don't want to pass away of natural causes, or at least not in the comfortability of their freaking mansion. You know what I mean? Like, these people should have been brought to justice. That's why we've wanted these files released for so long. Somebody said online, all the files are like 5,000 pages of files. And it's like, it's going to take a while for people to read through, and who knows what's been taken out or blacked out or, whatever they do. Hopefully none of it. Hopefully it's in full. But yeah, dude, all those crazy people. I think there was a guy who wrote a book. I can picture the cover, something about a white horse. I can picture the cover. I can't remember the author's name. But this dude had been saying this for so long. And somebody said he got killed shortly after he put out the book in 1991. I just did a quick little Google search, and I showed that he died in 2001. So, there's just, it's hard to know what to believe. But in my heart of hearts, I've always believed it was the government. I didn't know if it is true, Israel's involvement in it. But it makes sense to me. They don't want to have to be signed up with the group showing where they're donating their money and how much they're donating, but yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy, man. And I like I said, I wish this would have come out so many years back, because those people who were involved just deserved to pay the penalty for it. If any normal person in America goes out and shoots somebody else, there's an investigation. Which they said they investigated, but was it really? I don't know. It was a whole cover up because they knew they were wrong. So yeah, it's wild. If anybody else does that, we go to jail, we, get a life sentence. That's what should have happened to the people involved that betrayed the president of the United States. This is who the people voted for, man. It's just so crazy. And as I've said before, no matter what party you're for, I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't care what party you're for, but when it comes to I've never wanted a politician, I don't like, I've never just wished they would get a bullet to the head. You know what I mean? If they're doing wrong shit, they deserve to be called out on it, possibly sentenced, but that'll never happen. Those higher up people, they just never go to jail. So I just don't understand the point of, just releasing the files so many years later after, protecting the people that have, there's still people alive that are involved. It's yeah, we know. And we want to know who those people are. They deserve to be punished for what they did. I saw a weird conspiracy today. Now, I don't necessarily believe this. Somebody is saying that Martin Luther King was a government plant. They chose him to be an activist, and boosted him up and, helped him with his movements. It just, I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. The MLK files are something that was released along with the JFK files. It just doesn't make sense to me that he would be a government plant just all to, assassinate him? How does that make any sense? Why would you build him up just to take him out? It doesn't, I don't know. I don't know, maybe the movement got out of hand, which it was a huge movement, in their opinion, which is a great movement. Like, we all are equal, in my opinion. I try not to get too political on this show, because I want to keep it light. I want to keep it fun. I don't want to bury my head in the politics of America, but just on a base level, like, we should all be equal, like, that's the way it should be. And I know that's not how it's always been. But yeah, just taking the race out of it, like, we're just people, you know what I mean? Like, we all bleed blood. Anyways, so yeah, it's just some interesting stuff. I don't know what to make of it. I'm watching, I sometimes I'm a better, like, I don't know what you're audio learner than a visual learner, though it does help to have both. But just watching videos of people who have dug deeper and are just pointing out facts of these documents, that helps a lot. That's kind of how I do research, very light research, kind of piggyback on their hard work research where they're reading through documents and probably don't understand half of it. But yeah, it's all weird, man. I've always felt bad for JFK. I just thought he was, we probably didn't agree on every single thing, or wouldn't have agreed, but I just genuinely feel like he was trying, you know what I mean? Like, trying to always do the right thing, trying to do the right thing by the people. And it's just sad it came to that end, man. It's like, it's taken this long, to even get this far to, like, have shit released. It's ridiculous. Now, I don't know if he got assassinated somewhere else. I don't know if I'd be like as into it as I have been over the years. But yeah, the fact that it happened in Dallas, it's like, that's what people, when they fly in from out of town, that's what they want to do. You want to go to the museum? You mean the museum where the guy got shot? Oh, and that's the other thing too, I didn't even bring up. The Lee Harvey Oswald. He was just like some random fucking guy, and the government was like, yep, that's him, get him. You know what I mean? And to keep him quiet, what did they do? They sent somebody else to go shoot him and kill him so he couldn't plead his innocence, and it's just almost a perfect crime, which is crazy. Like, it shouldn't be that way, but it is. It's like, it's just all wild, dude. That poor fucking guy. Now, I don't know what kind of life Lee Harvey Oswald lived. I don't know. He might have been a bad guy. I really don't know. But the fact that he's just like, how random was it that he was roped into the whole thing? And dude, it's just, I mean, what would you say if you were roped in? No, I fucking didn't shoot him. No, I didn't. I did not. They're like, yeah, come with us, buddy. Like, that's not fair. That's just crazy, man. And it all works. It all worked out for him. Because, like I said, somebody came along and killed him, so he couldn't say how innocent he was. He couldn't be like, I was at fucking Jack in the Box at 2:30, dude. What are you talking about? I wasn't downtown. You know what I mean? That's just fucking nuts. I don't mean to laugh because it is tragic, but Jesus, man. Like, how messy. How fucking messy. And we've all known this for a long time. We've all known. There's some shit going. I mean, I'm ready for 9/11 files to be released. Bush is still alive. He should pay for his crimes against humanity if he was involved in that shit. Absolutely. Don't wait until he's in the ground. It needs to happen now. What the fuck? Like, and why are we he's just living his cozy little life, knowing what he knows. I mean, I want it all released. Martin Luther King files got released, JFK files. I want the 9/11. I want the Epstein list. I don't give a shit who was on the Epstein list. I want it all. If Donald Trump is on that Epstein list and he went to the island and he committed those crimes, that motherfucker needs to be in prison too. I will say it point blank. Anybody who was involved in that shit, they need to be in prison, point blank. I don't care what party they're from. If you committed those sort of crimes, no. We're not going to have it. We're not going to do it. So yeah, I want all the shit to be released. We need to know it all. And all these people that look crazy for years and years and years and just keep saying, I know who killed JFK. And everybody's like, yeah, whatever, sure. Yeah, right. They're just discrediting them. They sound like loons. I'm listening to these people a lot more. You know, there's a ton of different theories, so it's hard to know which one to listen to, but just open your mind. Just explore the possibility of if it did happen that way. You know what I mean? Like, how would it all make sense? How would it all fit together? It's just so much shit, dude. It's so sad. It's so sad that we would do that to our own people. I think that was something the CIA was involved in, was just like being willing to hurt the American people, to get whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to get too deep. But yeah, super sad, man. And I'm ready to learn more. I'm ready to know more. And let's release the files of the crazy shit that's happened. So we can punish the people that are still alive. Let's not wait, dude. That's the point. That's why we want the files. We shouldn't be waiting. If I go out and rob a store today, they're not going to wait. They're not going to hide my files. Why? Because I'm a nobody? I'm a random citizen? That's not fucking right. I don't care what level of government you're at. And that's easy for me to say. Who knows? Who knows the ripple effects of if it came out that somebody high up in power was doing certain shit? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know the ripple effect it would cause. It might cause the economy to crash. Who knows? I have no answers, people. I'm just really interested in it. So let's go ahead and take another drink. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers. Moving on. I was saying last week, Prochaska, I kind of had a guess as to why he shaved his head. I was thinking it had something to do with martial arts. If you're disgraced, you're not allowed to, have your ponytail or whatever, or something. I don't know. I don't know what I was speaking to, like what ancient rule or samurai theory. I don't know. This dude ain't no samurai, and I'm starting to understand that now. Like, his name, part of his nickname is the Samurai, but I saw him drinking after the Jamal Hill fight with Jamal Hill, which is pretty fucking cool. But I'm like, wait, samurai don't drink? Oh, okay. It's like a stage name kind of thing, Iron Mike Tyson, Kid Dynamite, all that stuff. It's like, I don't know much about him. I thought he was like living the fucking samurai lifestyle. I don't know. Like, how good do you want to be at UFC, at mixed martial arts? If you live that lifestyle, you're bound to be a badass, right? But anyways, so I was thinking he shaved his head because it was like some, I lost a fight, therefore, I have to train for years to grow it back. It's growing back as I'm training, as I'm getting better, I'm relearning, and it wasn't that. It was actually an even better reason than what I said. It was a show of solidarity to cancer patients. And apparently, I think he had somebody come up in the octagon after the fight who does have cancer, who he, was basically shaved his head for. But yeah, that's so awesome, dude. And it helps Chris, honestly, if you watch the actual fight. That way you don't have to guess, because they pretty much spelled it all out for you after the fight. I'm thinking it's some like ancient samurai rule if you lose a fight, and it's like, no, he's doing it he's a cool fucking guy. He's a great guy to do that. Like, that's so awesome. I love that. And then, like I said, after the fact, him and Jamal Hill drinking at the bar after a fight, that's professional. That's two professionals right there, dude. Like, just beating the shit out of each other. I mean, Jamal Hill's face was just tore up and swollen. I mean, he got in a fight. You can tell. But I just think that's so cool, like, to put all that shit aside and just, like, shake hands and, good fight, and let's have fun, it's time to have fun. We did the hard part. We threw at each other. We hurt each other. This is the fun part. We can relax. It's not life or death. You are not my sworn enemy. Just one guy was better on this night. So I love that. I absolutely love that. I'm going to take a drink to Prochaska for doing that, because that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And yeah, cancer is just a bitch. You know, supposedly there's cures out there. Supposedly, not to take it political again, but supposedly Putin has a cancer, and his research team has a cure. Did I say a cancer? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. He has a cure for cancer. He doesn't have a cancer. And here I go spreading misinformation again. You know, I was telling my friends the other night how pretty much my whole life, I guess until I was maybe in my 20s, I like spread so much disinformation about one of my favorite musicians of all time, Freddie Mercury. Like, probably the best vocalist I've ever heard in my life. Someone who I absolutely adore as a musician. I spread some hateful shit about him growing up. Like, from the time I was like 8 years old to like in my 20s. I kid you not. And it was all the way like my mom, and I'm not blaming my mom. It was the way she explained it to me. Because, you know, you could kind of see, like, some people were like, you know, weird about the whole gay thing or the bisexual thing. So I was like, you know, he's awesome. Like, why do people, like, give him a hard time? And the way my mom explained it to me, and it's not her fault I interpreted it this way. It's my dumbass fault. But she said, well, you know, they don't think it's right because he likes to be with other boys. And, you know, it's just like, huh. I was like, that seems weird. I was like, now I'm confused about the guy because he shouldn't be with boys. Like, and I didn't say any of this. I just kind of took what my mom said and like internalized it and like thought on it for years and years. So for years, I told people, I spread so much misinformation about Freddie Mercury that he was a fucking pedophile. And I feel horrible about that. I can't believe I did that, but it was the way it was explained. She should have said, if I could go back, and probably if she could go back, I've told her this before, she would probably have said he likes to be with other men, not boys. When she said boys, I was like, wait, he's an adult. He shouldn't be with boys. So it really kind of like confused me as to how I feel about him. I'm like, I love him as a musician, but not if he's with boys. I think that's completely wrong, you know? And then when we talk about Queen, you know, I've grown up around musicians my whole life. I would tell people that I love Freddie Mercury. He's an amazing vocalist, but he's a pedophile. You knew that, right? And nobody I ever told that to was like, oh yeah, I knew that. Everybody was like, what? No, he's not. That can't be true. You know, like they would fight me on. I was like, I swear. And of course, me being a kid and impressionable, it was my mom telling me that. She wouldn't lie to me. And actually, she didn't lie to me. She told me the truth. It's just the words she chose to tell me with. I was like, other boys? He's a man. Like, that's not right. So, anyway, sorry about that, Freddie. I'm pretty sure I've told that story on here before. That's awful. It's like the misinformation you can spread. Maybe you shouldn't have a podcast, Chris. Oh, well. I'm doing it anyway. I'm going to have it anyway. And I always say, dude, I'm not the brightest crayon in the box. You guys know that. I say many stupid things week after week after week. It's just fun to do. It's just fun to do the podcast, you know? Anyways, let's take another drink. Cheers, everybody. All right. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right. Continuing on. My Dallas Stars doing great things right now. I said this a few nights before the game happened. That game between the Stars and Vegas, where I think we're playing them on Tuesday again. Which is going to be tough. But that game between the Stars and Vegas on Friday night was kind of a must-win, in my opinion. Not that like we would lose playoff contention or anything like that. It's not the end of the season. I think it was just more of a moral victory, you know. Obviously, it's going to help us in the standings. We did beat them in regulation. We got the full 2 points. But, yeah, we just needed that to just kind of prove to ourselves and prove to me as a fan that we do have what it takes. We can be that team when we tilt the ice and we play our style, dude. And I said this over the course of this season. If we play our style, we are really, really tough to match up against. And I think we're going to do great things in the playoffs. I don't know if we're going to win the Stanley Cup. I hope we do. But, yeah, the way we played I mean, it came down to the wire. Don't let me lie to you. We didn't like blow them out or anything. It was a 4-3 game, 4-3 final, with Ottinger making 2 huge saves at the end of the game, which were just I mean, a game saver, honestly. I mean, if Vegas scores that goal, they get all the momentum, going into the overtime period, and it's not good news for us. Ottinger made that huge save, and I was just kind of reading through the comments about that save, and the broadcast, I guess that was on ESPN. I forget the announcer's name, but I mean, he just lost his mind as soon as Ottinger made. I mean, the net was wide open. Ottinger, I mean, he had to sprawl like with every length of his body to get his glove over to make that save. It was a huge save, and I saw someone on the comments, they said, I guess that the announcer was a little bit of an overreaction, and like, I don't think that's true at all. Only for the fact that I was listening to the game on the radio, and Josh and Razor reacted the exact same way that the ESPN broadcaster that when I went back to watch the highlights, obviously I wanted to see the save again. When I went back to watch the highlights, that's when I heard the ESPN announcer freak out just the same as Josh and Razor. So yeah, I don't think it was any overreaction there. It was a huge save. And by the way, Razor used to be a goaltender. You know what I mean? Like, he knows what it takes to make that kind of save. When their greatest scorer has the puck with an empty net, I mean, geez. Ottinger did his thing. It was a huge save. No overreaction, in my opinion. When you get multiple people reacting that way, it's like, no, I don't think you know what you're talking about. But yeah, huge. And then we come out back-to-back nights. We play St. Louis. We get up 2-0. I believe that was in the first period. And we pretty much just held on to that the entire game, which was a huge win. I mean, Monty's with the Blues now. They're making strides. But yeah, my Stars looking good. We're in second place now. Good amount of games played. We're right behind, 4 or 5 points behind, maybe 6 points behind Winnipeg. I think we're even in games right now, but, we're still going to have to face Winnipeg a couple of points in this season to end the season. So, I don't necessarily think we need to sprint for the end. We don't need to win the President's Trophy or anything like that. If we do, I mean, we do. I'm not going to be mad about it, of course, but we just needed to prove to ourselves we are that team. We are a potent team. And I see that. I see that in my Stars. I'm super excited for the playoffs this season. I'm kind of thinking, like, if we go to the playoffs, we get knocked out, I don't know, second, third round, something like that. What do we do with DeBoer? It's like we have almost everything we need, if not everything, and we just can't get it through. Is it the game plan at that point? Is it the players? Which, dude, I am buying absolutely 100% someone who shows great work ethic, great leadership, being a great teammate. Duchesne, man, I am so happy and I feel so lucky that Duchesne is on our team now. And he's a tough son of a bitch, man. He got elbowed in the face the other night. I guess it was against St. Louis, and he's not pissed off about it. Like, that's how you know someone's tough. When they take a good shot and they're not, like, throwing shit over on the bench. Because, you kind of got in their head a little bit at that point. But he's not only physically tough, he's mentally tough. He's not going to lose focus on his objective. And him and Ben together are starting to... Dude, they're starting to... I don't know, just team up in the best of ways to do some great shit, man. If we can keep that fire burning. Marchment's still out. Sagan is out. You know how I feel about him. I'm not a huge Sagan fan, but, my fear is, to be honest with you, and I know there's a lot of Sagan lovers out there that are Dallas Stars fans, my fear is that we can mix Marchment back in when he comes back. My fear is mixing Sagan back in. It's like, I don't want him to screw up what we have going on. And you got to think about that too. I'm sitting here talking about coaching, like what do we do if we don't win the whole thing? Look at how well we are coached as a team. I mean, DeBoer is taking these call-ups, and they're performing, man, underneath him. Like, they know the mission and they're executing. It's just a great thing to see. It's like such a luxury to be able to pull from the farm system and have people who can mix into the NHL, in the snap of a finger. It's honestly incredible. I would venture to say we're at least top 3 in our farm system in the NHL, just for the fact that we can call people up and they're doing their thing, like it's incredible to see. I'm so happy about it. But I think we're going to do great 2 games to win, especially back-to-backs. My Stars aren't the best at back-to-backs. But we get the job done. I'm sure we have a game coming up Monday. I don't know who against who. Who against who? I don't know against who. And, maybe it's just Tuesday. Maybe it's Vegas Tuesday. Hopefully they're not giving us another back-to-back. But, cheers to my Stars, man. We're doing our thing. Second place in the Western Conference, which, as you know, is not an easy conference. So cheers to them. All right, moving on. A little last topic. See what's happening in the NFL here. I know the big game. Wow. I did kind of want to watch this one. I need to go finish this one off. The Eagles versus the Commanders, 27-12 in the second quarter. Eagles just all over it. The big one tonight at 5:30, Bills versus the Chiefs. And supposedly the Chiefs don't have the refs they've had before in this game. I just want good, fair, swallow your whistle reffing. That's what I want out of this game. Deciding who's going to the Super Bowl. It's looking like the Eagles, and I'm going to put my money on the Bills if I were a betting man, even though I said I would never bet on the NFL, which I won't ever, but just verbally, if I had to bet, I'm putting my money on the Bills. I think the Chiefs, your time is up, at least for this season. I don't know. They're going to be good for a while, so I don't think they should be worried at all. But, I'm just hoping for a good, fair game. I don't want people complaining and saying the refs did it afterwards and helped them and all that. No, just let the players decide. That's ideal, right? There's what's going on. It's coming down to it, man. Can you believe it's almost February? That's insane to me. Like, I don't know. It's so wild. The NFL season is these 2 games today and then one more. It's wild. Something I wanted to touch on in the NHL was the McDavid suspension. I think, and I know the Oilers came out with a statement. McDavid's unhappy about 3-game suspension. I don't think they should be upset at all. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to get suspended for 3 games, like, that's how you do it. And I said he cross-checked him to the neck. That's what it looked like to me, but it was actually to the head. That's why it was such a big deal. And a 3-game suspension. Dude, if you're going to get suspended, you should be happy with that. I mean, honestly, like, you got your lick in. Garland knows if he ever... you sent the message that you needed to send. I know he wants to play. I get that. McDavid I'm talking about. Excuse me. I know McDavid wants to play and he hates to be out for 3 games, but dude, just think of what you did. Like, it is a dangerous play, regardless of who the player is that did it, regardless of if he's a superstar or not. It's a dangerous play, but I guarantee you this, Connor Garland won't ever drape all over you like that again. You sent the message to him and probably other players in the NHL. If you do that to me and they're not going to call it, the refs aren't going to call it, that's what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I'm going to come back at you. And I think that's a great message to send, especially in hockey. Where they do get to police themselves a lot more than other sports. A message sent, suspension served, who cares? Like, let it go. There's no sense in crying about it after that's the part that I don't like. You did the fucking tough guy ape shit, ape brain shit. and you cross-checked him to the head, just leave it at that. Coming out and crying about it afterwards that he got suspended for 3 games, and the organization coming out and crying, it makes you look weak. What would have been better is taking the 3-game suspension and standing there without saying anything, without having a comment about it. That just sends the message. If you do that to me again in the middle of the ice, I'm gonna fucking do something back. Don't do it. And I think that's a great message. So, anyways, that's gonna be it. Let's go ahead and finish these off. Thank you guys for listening. If you got them drinking, bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. All right, everybody. I will talk to you next week. Thank you guys for listening. As always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a DoorDash. Treat yourself to an Uber Eats. Just be safe out there. That's all I'm trying to say. I love you all. I will talk to you next week. Bye.